So why could Greek mythology hold the secrets to the Fortnite storyline? And it reveals the Nothing's plan for the Triarchy. So at the beginning, there was nothing, a void, abyss, from where all will soon be created. Chaos. Oh wait a minute, this isn't about the nothing, this is about chaos. Chaos is a void preceding the creation of the cosmos in Greek mythology. Chaos is described as a formless void and is fundamental to the creation narrative in Greek mythology, but it's similar to the creation in Fortnite. In the beginning there was nothing, then the burst of pure creation sprung the 0 point. We presume the nothing to also be a shapeless and formless entity, and I'm not saying the nothing is a shapeless man, I'm not going to get into that.
A lot of y'all have lost your minds.
Why is this important? Well, let's take a trip down memory lane. Chapter 3, Season 4. Amy's fragment says this: it scopes his existence anew, a fate darker than the worst imaginable. Referencing the whereabouts of the scientists, we believe the 7 are wherever the Chrome took them. I suspect it's the last reality. But I'm sure you already knew this. But why is this line important? Well, the teasers to Chapter 3, Season 4, where we first saw the Chrome. I thought this was a symbol of a messenger, but don't worry, this wasn't a shot in the dark. Instinctively, I thought the Chrome represented Mercury, and I went on an exploration in Greek and Roman mythology, coming to Hermes and Mercury, who were messengers for the gods. So yes, that means they are heralds. And to add to this, these two gods are psychopumps, known for guiding souls to the underworld. The god of the underworld is Hades, also referred to the unseen one in some texts, making that what you will. So the nothing and chaos are both creation. The herald and the chrome is representing Hermes and him as a psychopump who is a soul guider. And Hades, the god of the underworld, is the unseen one. So how is there a connection between the nothing, chrome and souls? Well, you're going to want to like and subscribe for this one. And to strengthen my theory about the nothing being inspired by chaos is the nothing's gift. Again, it's maybe just coincidence, but chaotic edge.
A lot of y'all have lost your mind.
So the Fortnite storyline seems to have a strong connection to souls, because in Chapter 2 Season 6, after the creation of the Spire, we were introduced to the Spire Guardians, who seem to have a distinct connection to souls. So the Herald and the Chrome together being Fortnite's version of a psycho pump, so that's why the Herald and the Chrome, as a depiction of a messenger in mythology, took the 7 to bring them to a fate darker than what's imaginable. So did the Herald bring them to a version of the underworld? Well, that's probably the Cube's cradle, which is probably full of chaos and darkness. So we are starting to build a connection here, but isn't there a colour connection with the colour purple? Remember the shadows and ghosties from Chapter 2 Season 2 for Midas' revenge arc, and the shadows also had this very distinctive emitting purple glow. Now this may be coincidence, and I do like a bit of coincidence, but this glider from Sika's set. Now this is Cerberus, the Hound of Hades, a multi-headed dog that guards the gates of the underworld, and he also has this purple emitting glow. So with what we know, the Chrome basically acts as a vessel to take the 7 to Fortnite's version of the underworld, which is probably something to do with the last reality. It's not going to be a straight play for play, but it's too similar to dismiss. And of course, I have said this before, there's a perfectly good looking survey skin in the survey that could be Hades, the Bident, the blue hair, the H in the chest, which could connect him more to the nothing with the whole hollow and afraid thing which Bites went through a couple seasons back. So regardless, this kind of connects him with the nothing either way. So what I'm also saying is the Herald could be like a psycho pump who guides his souls to Fortnite's version of the underworld. So purple is definitely associated with souls. It could go even deeper if you think about the Dark Jonesy trials. You had to use a shadow stone to be able to collect the vessel, but why is that relevant now? Serenade. And we will get into Tryout Nox later, and that could be really interesting. Now back to Greek gods. Now a little story about the ancient legend of Orpheus and Eurydice. So Orpheus' wife, Eurydice, at some point died. She crossed over to the underworld, and Orpheus wanted her back, so travelled to the depths of the underworld being protected by the gods. He serenaded Hades with a lyre, and Hades was moved by this, and said yes, Eurydice can return, but you have to do one thing, to not look back, which unfortunately he did. He didn't trust the gods, he thought he was being betrayed, and she would never return. But serenade is serenading someone. It's something set to return. Of course, I think the herald isn't dead because there is a massive hole in the back of that tree and something has escaped, so I presume it was the herald. So maybe something else is happening here. So Jay, why is this important and why are you telling us this? Well, it's all to do with Serenade's tranquil waters and Styx. To get to the underworld in Greek mythology, you must pass the river of Styx. Okay, it's not the sole way, but it is a way. Now, Serenade, of course, was changed by tranquil waters. Now, the river of Styx is not quite tranquil waters. They seem to have this similar color element going on. So am I trying to say that Serenade is trying to retrieve a soul by serenading whoever are behind these monoliths? If it's not Serenade, maybe. So what about Triarch Nox and the possibility of this triarchy, whether it's related to the last reality or, like my good friend Restro says, the elementals? And yes, this still links to Styx, maybe Serenade, and the whole thing I've already talked about. So if we are sort of linking the nothing with being chaos, let's go a bit more about this. At first, chaos came to be, but next came Gia, Tetarus, and Eros, more primordial gods. So yes, Triarch Nox's name in Greek mythology is Nyx, and that's the equivalent. Nyx is a personification of the night, and her sibling, which is Eurydice, is the personification of darkness. And you heard me mention a personification of the earth called Gaia. And back to Restro's theory about the elementals. Now he goes Triarch Terra, and that obviously is the Roman equivalent to Gaia. Next one he goes Triarch Lox, which obviously I think in Greek means light, but it's not really a personification. I think in my head Apollo would be the closest, but of course that was the name of the chapter 2 map, so I don't think they will use it. Maybe it makes sense to use Heaven, which would be Ether, but Ether I believe will be the name of the next Fortnite map. The chapter 5 map will be called Ether, or maybe Ares. If indeed they keep with the A theme, nothing else really makes sense. I don't think it matters, in my theory, if the triarchy is associated with the last reality or the elementals. I think eventually it will work its way back to the nothing. But are the elementals Fortnite's version of the very first primordial gods in the Fortnite storyline? Well, it could be. It's all very interesting. And is chaos set to return? Is the nothing set to return? Now, we've heard the nothing speak. We know it's an entity, a powerful entity that speaks for us through either TVs or it uses powerful beings like the Cube Queen and the Herald to send its message. Leave nothing behind. Nothing is now inevitable. Only nothing will remain. How the nothing seems to change people, seems to change living beings like Bites and Amy's fragment. So I feel like the nothing will come and darkness will fall across the Omniverse. And I believe Amy's fragment said it. Sculpt anew. They want to sculpt their own version of the Omniverse, of Reality Zero, of Mega City if the last reality wants to take it over. But it's so cool how Fortnite seems to take inspiration from Greek mythology, or at least mythology in general. Donald Moss had actually said this when in an interview talking about his previous project, Infinity Blade. But guys, let me know down below what you think. It's been your boy Mr. JY. It's next time. Bye bye.